Well, greetings again. This is Dr. Bill Wyatt with the American Orthodontic Society, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit this morning about gentle, constant pressure, how it affects the growth of the teeth and how it affects the mouth in all sorts of ways, and it's not understood really good how this pressure works on people, but and they would not think that it is what's causing the problem that they have. So I'm going to start with this intruding wire that we came up with, and it came to this by seeing what gentle pressure did to teeth when somebody just left and didn't come back. Let me get started on this now, and I'll show this to you. This young man, that's a bad picture I've got right there, came in to me, and he had, let me get to show his models here. These are the two little wires. It had a very small amount of pressure exerting on the teeth. And here was the guy's models now. You could hardly see his lower teeth from underneath here. Now I've got a video on him again, but not stressing the fact that this is a very gentle pressure. Now the guy came into me wanting to have his teeth straightened. He didn't have a good reason for it, but anyway, he wanted to get them straight. And so we bracketed the 6 anterior teeth. In other words, the centrals, the laterals, and the cuspids right here, and we bracketed. We put bands on the molars back here, the 6-year molars, and we did this. Now the bottom teeth went up to somewhere like in here on him from the inside. I think we've got that showing in the model here. And so we put arch wires in there, little gentle wires that were going up like this. And we pulled them down and hooked them to these 4 or 6 front teeth. That had very little effect on the cuspids. And on the bottom, there's one went around like this, and you can't see how it's joined up there. But these 2 little wires were pushing the teeth up. All these teeth were going, they don't go into the bone. The bone structure just moves with the teeth, but it has a gentle effect on it, and that happens. And all the lower teeth went down, and the guy, I put this on him, and I think I saw him one time, and then he just disappeared. We couldn't get a hold of him. We wrote and everything, trying to get hold of him. We could not find the guy. But one day, I'm going to erase this for me right here. One day he just appeared, and he came in. He looked like this. And here, this was back in the early 70s. And these teeth right here, these were down over these, and these were up in here. He came in because he couldn't bite through a sandwich, or a hamburger, or whatever he was eating. He couldn't bite it through. His teeth, because they had been intruded, the teeth didn't get any longer or push the tooth up in. They didn't get shorter. Just the bone structure, the whole thing just went up, and this just went down like that. And the teeth just went into to place. Now I thought this has something to do, but if I went back here and showed you those two little wires, they were very small wire, and I think it's a 016 or 018 round wire, but normally it would not do this very quick. But the guy left and never came back for 6 months. And when he came back, he was like that. And he left like this at that point. Now, how does that work? That told me something, that this is the way I want to open deep bite cases, and it works. And so we've got stacks of cases over the years that we opened where the teeth were way down like this, and we put this on there and it would move the teeth apart in the front and have very little effect on the molar teeth. Now that's where the force is coming from. Here, if I went back and let me see if we can show it from this side. Now the little intruding wires were coming out of these teeth, coming up like this and going over, and we was picking these teeth up. And it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, or what AI says about it, there's an equal amount of force. When you make this force up here is trying to pick these teeth up, it's trying to shove these teeth down over here. Then this tooth was going up, of course, the molar, and the anterior teeth were going down in this direction. Now, that's just, this happened. And I sat down and started thinking about how did this happen, why did it happen, and what. Now, it's 4 times I've not done this research to see that if you had 2 teeth that were the same and you pushed one of them down into the bone and had it going up like this one going up, pushing this down, this one would go 4 times higher than this one would go in there, and I believe that. That seems to work. Now, it may not be exactly that, but they can tell you later on exactly how much. But this was put on this young man, and then he just disappeared. Now, people do that every once in a while, where you couldn't really want to do that to somebody and tell them to come back in 6 months. That wouldn't be very good at all. So we just discount that fact. But here, this gentle pressure was exerted on these teeth for about 6 months. And so then we took the teeth that were, let's see, the teeth that were this, the bite that was closed like this, and we waited 6 months. I didn't want to do this. We weren't going to have him do it at all. He just did it. And then you take advantage of cases where people do ridiculous things sometimes, and you don't see it or adjust it. Now, if he had been a grown person and wanted to open this up like that, that's what he wanted to do, and it's just opened it further than he really wanted. He couldn't bite his teeth together in the front of his mouth, so he came in and we said, "This has worked." And he said, "Oh no, it hasn't worked. He can't get his teeth together." Well, let's go on and look at some other pictures on him here. Now the upper 6-year molar, that's the one here, that's a bad picture. This opened the bite like that. Now here they are down like that, and we put those up, and it had very little effect. In other words, for this tooth to get the force to intrude these teeth, it had to be forced down with exactly the same pressure. Now that's just a fact of engineering, and I think that'll be true on AI for now. Now this tooth right here needs to go up, and these are going down in this place, and the same force that's intruding these anterior teeth is extruding the molars. But yet, that didn't happen. The molars hardly ever moved. Now you can see this is where these teeth are going down, these are going up. There'll be exactly the same amount of force there. Let's see if we look at it from the back side. Okay, there's where it opened up. Now, you can see his lower teeth were right up on the gum line up here when he came in. And here is the 6-year molar right here. And here's one over here. Now, if we got a place where we can see them, let me get back here. There's one spot we've got. We can see how much that molar tooth actually worked. Okay, this is not a good shot, but it tilted the teeth down. In other words, you were coming off here, and this was pulling it down on these teeth, and it tended to make it come down. It separated the teeth right here in front, but the teeth pushed together, and the chewing of this affects it, and it would not let these teeth really move in the opposite direction. In other words, they would have had to go, they're picking these upper teeth up, and it would be going down, and it just did not move very much. That's just one thing I don't think people understand in doing orthodontics. If you do something on one side, pushing this down, over here it's 4 times harder to intrude or to push a tooth into bone, and it doesn't do that anyway. That you go gently, the bone structure moves along with the tooth, and that's the way it happens. And so this showed me something, and I learned to use these intruding arches. And that's that's on moving the teeth with the intruding arch.